Hey guys, this is Agamemnon here for SC2 Mistakes, where you get to learn from our mistakes. I'd like to welcome everyone to part 2. I'm just going to hit play here. Part 2 of the Marine Rush. So we saw some mistakes that were made previously by our hero Odayin. He's up now against the Zerg player Jake, and Jake is in the top right in the blue trunks. And in the bottom left, we have our hero in the red trunks. So before we kind of get into this, I want to just mention where I first discovered the Marine Rush. So if you get a chance to go into your portrait in Starcraft 2 and take a look at achievements, you're going to see that one of the achievements is making 10 Marines in under 5 minutes. So I thought, okay, there's a reason why they have that timing, right? So I tried that. I tried to make 10 Marines by 5 minutes and found that by the time those Marines arrived at my enemy's doorstep at about 5:30, the 10 Marines could handle just about anything. I'm not saying it works 100% of the time, but it was a pretty strong rush. So I played with it a bit on the ladder and found some success before I got bored and moved on. But let's take a look at Odayin and make good use of this. First of all, we notice that in this game, Odayin already has 10 SCVs, which is excellent. That's what you need to have for this rush to work. And he's not getting supply blocked. He's got his supply depot coming down. He's already got 2. And I think what we're looking for with regards to barracks would be 3 barracks with 2 supply depots, making constant Marine production. And we're going to cut our SCV production pretty soon. Okay, very standard. Let's take a look at Jake. I don't know what kind of Zerg name Jake is, but interesting. So we've got Jake. He's got his spawning pool up. He's got his 2 extractors. Just like to see what each one of these guys is scouting. So let's take a look. No scouting! Ah. And same with Jake. No scouting whatsoever. Now normally, obviously, it's important to scout, but when you're really focusing on a new build or a new facet of your play that you just want to give 100% focus to, it's okay to forget about other things and just really focus on that. So Odayin here is really just trying to make sure that he gets the right number of barracks, 3, beautiful, look at that execution, and 2 supply depot, get to 10 Marines, and then attack. Now I haven't really watched this, so I'm not exactly sure if that's the number that we get when he attacks, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, that rally point, I'd really like to see a shift, where you do shift, right click, to put your rally point perhaps here, or here, or here. But please don't rally your units into the middle of your base like this. Okay, so now we've got orbital command up, which is vital for the 10 Marine rush, because you're going to be cutting your SCVs, but you're going to want to make use of your mules. So look at that. All 3 barracks are able to pump out Marines constantly. Isn't that amazing? Let's take a look at the unit tab. We've got 7 Marines up. Let's look at our army tab. 450 to 150. Odayin has definitely got the lead. So let's look at our units again. Now he's at 9, and here's his 10th. And he's moving out with that entire army to attack. Excellent. So let's look at the time. So he did that at around the 5-minute mark. And his attack should arrive, I'd say, shortly after 5:30. Which is a really nice tight timing. I think he's coming here to make sure that the watchtower is not occupied. We see that it is not. He got a little bit of vision there. Now this attack is coming a bit late, but as we can see, our Zerg opponent has quick expanded, so this is a really, really strong answer to that. Okay, Odayin, attack! Attack! He's not attacking yet. Okay, let's see what's going on up here. He's got his expansion. Let's look at our army tab. Still 700 to 150. And here comes the attack. Slow it down. Look at those Marines. So we've got 10 Marines, 12 Marines. And we're going to force a cancel on this expo. Cancel. Nice. Here they come. Notice that Jake is using a little trash talk. Wow, classic Rush, you're cool. Yeah, Jake's a little upset about this, and I think you would be too. Now, again, the decision making, excellent. Went straight for the workers, right? Straight for the workers. Beautiful. Now look what it's forced Jake to do. Now Jake is forced to make Zerglings. But even they're not going to stand up because Odayin's army is now at over, well, it was at 1,000, right? Okay, very good. So that was round 1. Now Odayin, let's just pause for one quick second. I'd like to see the units tab. Actually, let's take a look at the income tab. So even though that first attack didn't work, I mean, it worked. He got a bunch of workers, he distracted his opponent, he took out an expansion, but look at the income. He's over 200 ahead on minerals, on income, and yet he's still able to mass produce. Now the other thing I want to note is that Odayin now is at 480 minerals, and let's take a look at the army tab. His army is 4 times basically the size of his opponent. So this is something for people that say that rushes, you shouldn't do rushes. A rush like that, even though it did not wipe out the opponent, Odayin has the ability to now safely expand. So he can now switch to a completely macro game if he wants, or he has the option of maintaining the pressure because his army is at such a bigger size than his opponent. And this is actually even a very Terran specific advantage because you can mule, right? So even if you've cut worker production for a while, all you need to do is drop your mules and expand and focus then back on building SCVs and maintaining a bit of pressure on your opponent, that you can play a containment game and you can keep him from expanding, and ultimately your macro will just out macro his, right? So okay, sorry, let's hit play and let's keep watching. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. So we see we got a mass here. Again, we're at about, I think he's at about 11 there. Here come a few more. So it seems like the magic number is always over 10. It's always over 10. Once you get that kind of a number, attack, right? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Are they going to stand there or attack? Oh, there we go. Oh, one man is left behind. Oh no. Oh no. Jake says wow, but I don't think he means it. So Jake obviously is done. We can look at the army tab. Good decision making once again. Go for the workers. Beautiful. Very good. Now you notice what Jake is saying here? Come on, want to play a real game. I think he swore, I don't know what it was. Odayin responds, and notice what he says there. Just rushes. That is all there is in this game. I want to actually pause for, I've already paused it, but I want to take a moment just to address that. I'm going to give you an example from chess. So in chess, there's an opening called, I think it's called Fool's Checkmate. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but Fool's Checkmate is basically you're able to checkmate your opponent in 3 moves, right? So it's kind of one of the first things that anybody that ever plays chess learns, because if someone doesn't expect it, it wins like bang, super fast, and it's really exciting, and you feel like a freaking genius, right? Well, that once you start getting a little better at chess and start playing against people who are perhaps better than you, the Fool's Checkmate is never used. Like, I mean, literally, it's never, ever used, because it's so easy to defend when you know of it, know what's coming at you, and you're always at an advantage afterwards over your opponent. But that's at low levels of play in chess, right? So in Starcraft, especially in the bronze level, you might feel like you're getting rushed constantly. It's only rushes, 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 rushes. And you're trying to play a long game, and you're trying to expand, and you're trying to do research, but all you're getting is cannon rushed and ling rushed and marine rushed. And so it might feel really irritating, right? Well, one thing I'll say towards that is that learn to defend it. Expect it's going to happen, especially if you scout it. Expect it's going to happen, learn to defend it, and then you move on to the next level. Even for another example I want to give you guys is I was speaking with another bronze player, and his name is Furious Geo, and you guys are going to get to see him soon. He's working on his Zerg play on the ladder right now. But one thing we were talking about cannon rushes, and he actually said to me, I see cannon rushes all the time. And I said, really? Because I never see cannon rushes. I never get cannon rushed. And so I'm in Silver League, and he's in Bronze. Now, in Bronze, he feels like he gets rushed all the time, right? Whereas in Silver, I never get rushed, or at least that's my perception. So here's a theory, guys, and I don't know if you guys will agree with this, and maybe you can give me some feedback, but sometimes it's okay to use rushes or cheesy openings or whatever you want to call it to get yourself out of Bronze, okay? Because in the early levels of this game will be people who don't know how to defend it. So why not make use of that tool? Use that tool to your advantage and sweep all those opponents aside. When you get to the point where those rushes are no longer working, perhaps you'll find yourself in Silver. And at the point where the rushes stop working, then you'll have to learn a new trick. You'll have to learn a new way to play. But don't let somebody like Jake, who's kind of complaining, I'm going to hit play here, who's complaining about rushes, who doesn't know how to defend against a rush. Don't let someone like that stop you from playing the way that wins, right? He says that's pathetic, not a real game. And Odayin makes a good point. He said, okay, he said, again, I use it because it works, right? So perhaps it would be possible for Odayin to play this way, the 10 Marine Rush, and play that one thing, if he does it really well, that one thing, all the way to Silver. That might be. If it ends in 10 minutes, you're a loser that uses gay rushes to win. What does it say about you that you can't defend against a rush, right? Anyways, guys, I don't know if that's a way that you guys would like to play. Look at the army that's coming back in here. And already Odayin's been able to expand. Good boy, good boy. And the game is over. Okay, so we're just going to take a second again to recap. What we've seen here is a proper way to do the 10 Marine Rush in 5 minutes. We want to see 3 barracks, 2 supply depot, cut your SCVs at about, I think it was 10 or 11 or 12 SCVs, something like that. Make sure you have your orbital command up fairly soon so that you can mule. And just have mass production out of those 3 barracks. And then you can maintain that. You can try your first attack. Try and see if you can get it to arrive at 5:30. And if you get in and you're able to do some damage, work on the probes. Try to damage his economy. I mean, if you can take him out completely, great. But if not, damage his economy and then expand. Right? So that you will then have that edge. If you think, though, that you can maintain your pressure, that you can bring in reinforcements like this, and keep that pressure up, then do it. Get the win and move on to the next game, right? And yeah, so I hope that helps. We're going to probably end up putting a lot of these videos into categories for bronze, silver, gold, and up. And what we're going to probably see is in the bronze, we're going to see a lot of rush and cheese instructional videos that hopefully will actually get you past people that don't know how to defend them. And then once you get past that, guys, then you can move on to all kinds of other things. If you want to do it the other way around, that's completely fine. But don't be afraid to play whatever way you want. It's a game. Have fun. If you feel like rushing, you rush. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the notes below in the comment section. If you like the video, please thumbs up. If you want anything else, please send an email to sc2mistakes@gmail.com. Thanks guys, this is Agamemnon signing out.